Hello friends, today I am going to discuss about one story, and this is not only the story, this is one of the best selling novel. आपने सुना होगा, I am sure you must have heard about this novel, and probably many of you have read as well. Even I have read, but I had never applied in my life, to be very frank and honest. The name of novel is Who Moved My Cheese by Spencer Johnson. It's a world-class novel, very small book, but it has got a tremendous knowledge, and it says about the human psychology, because Spencer Johnson was a psychiatrist also, he was a doctor also, and he had written this novel, calculated the human mindset, you will say, because we human are very calculative in approach. Many a times we human think ourselves as superior on this earth. This novel deals about the story of two mice and two human beings. So let's start the story. I am sure you'll like this story, and most important, please apply in your life. That is the most important part of the story. So let's start. Who Moved My Cheese? Who Moved My Cheese has four characters. Two are mice named Sniff and Scurry, and two are humans who are the size of mice named Hem and Haw. They live in a maze and have to constantly find cheese to survive. The mice have a simple strategy. They test each pathway until they find one with the cheese. The humans think they are more sophisticated, they are more clever, but you'll find out later that it backfires on them, as very much implied with the title. One day, all of them find a ton of cheese in one spot that looks like it's enough to last them a lifetime. They end up spending a long time here. The humans settle down and slowly get arrogant, as usual. We are. Whenever we find the things, we become complacent and we become arrogant also. They show off their cheese and brag about it. They take it for granted. The moment you got the thing which you have desired for a long time, you will take it for granted. They get stuck in their old ways of procrastinating the things, laziness, bragging it off in front of everybody, and actual hard work now missing away. The mice are always vigilant because they are different from human being. They think not in a different way as the human being try to. They are ready to move on if the cheese disappears. They are always checking to see if the supply is getting lower. One day the cheese runs out. The mice foresaw this and they move on to discover more cheese. The humans didn't foresee this. Their arrogance blinded them to the slowly dwindling supply. But they won't leave the area to look for more. They are fearful of what's out there in the maze. They have gotten used to their old habits. They have started to believe they were entitled to this cheese. They scream angrily, "Who moved my cheese?" Once again, they scream angrily, "Who moved my cheese?" Hem and Haw decide to stay because they hope the cheese will appear there once again. They get bitter and blame everything but themselves. They complain that they worked hard to find the cheese and deserve more. After a long time, their situation hasn't changed. No new cheese was appeared. They blame each other for their problems. They start using sophisticated tools to dig behind the walls because they think the cheese might be behind there. Eventually, Haw got smart and decides to explore the maze for more cheese. thought prevails. Good thought prevails in the mind of Haw, at least. He tries to convince his partner to go with him, but he won't. He was resistant to change. He was adamant. He was full of attitude. Being the human, I am superior. Being the human, I am the right. He finds tiny bits of new types of cheese in the maze, which he brings back to Hem. But Hem refuses to eat it because he only wants the old type of cheese, the height of stubbornness, rigidity. He has grown accustomed to what he is used to. Haw keeps exploding since these tiny bits aren't enough to sustain him. As he journeys to new areas of the maze, he pushes past his fears and learns many life lessons. He writes a few lessons on the wall from time to time to encourage himself to move forward and for him if he ever decides to follow him. He finally enters a new place deep in the maze that has a ton of cheese, including all sorts of new types. He meets Sniff and Scurry again, who arrived here long before he did. He writes all the lessons he wrote earlier on the big wall. Lesson number 1, change happens. They keep moving the cheese. Anticipate change. Get ready for the cheese to move. Monitor change. Smell the cheese often so you know when it is going to old. Adapt to change quickly. The quicker you let go of old cheese, the sooner you can enjoy new cheese. Change. Move with the cheese. Enjoy change. Savor the adventure. Enjoy the taste of new cheese. Be ready to change quickly and enjoy it again. They keep moving the cheese. He now regularly explores new parts of the maze and monitors the cheese supply so the same thing doesn't happen again. He decides it's best to let him find his own way to him, because he has tried his level best to convince him, but Hem was adamant, stubborn, and rigid. So now he thought, let Hem decide, let the time will come, and Hem will learn from it. He realizes Hem has to change on his own way, because now it's high time Hem will not change. So we have understood the story, the summary of this book. Now I'll try to give you the review of the book, the analysis of the book, in which we can able to understand the actual application of the book and how we can apply in our life. The more importantly, reading of this book is one thing, understanding of the book is another thing, and the most important, how we are going to apply in life. I told you beginning of this summary only, I have never applied the theory of the book in my life, but definitely now I am going to apply the theory and understand the constant process of the life, ever developing process and growth of the life, and that is the change, which we all should appreciate, accept it, digest it, and practically apply throughout our life. So let's have the analysis and review of this novel. The authors of the story have mentioned that the cheese in the book represents anything a human strives for, the human run behind, the desire of human being, the need of human being, the greed of human being. It could be money, it could be fame, reputation, happiness, success, achievements, or anything. So whatever these things are there with the human, please tag it as a cheese in this book. I believe there are many more lessons than the ones that Hem wrote on the wall about change that you can learn from his story. Here's what I learned. First learning would be, don't get bitter and blame anyone or anything else for where you are in life. Whether it's fair or not, you have to take your own initiative and improve your own circumstances. Sitting there, pitying yourself won't change anything, rather, this will make you more frustrated. So, don't blame anybody. Don't be bitter as well. It's the biggest learning. Humans tend to get lazy and used to old habits. Fair enough, we all do that. In Ham's case also, he didn't really even deserve a lifetime supply of cheese. But over time, he got so used to his luxurious life that he convinced himself he was entitled to all the things like a spoiled brat. This is a classic human behavior you should avoid. Keep tabs on yourself so it doesn't happen to you. Don't overcomplicate things. We always do like this, right? Don't use complexity to run from what you don't want to do. Humans tend to think they are superior because of how we can use our brains to do very complex things. But this can backfire at a time. Sometimes the best solutions are simple, and we just run behind the bush and try to find or apply my mind in the best complex situation. How to crack it, but not too simple or complicated. So keep it simple. Ham chose to build these complex drilling machines to drill the walls for cheese rather than face his discomfort and go explore for new cheese. He put in 3 times the work for none of the payoff. See how you can apply this to your life. Are you looking up complex diet strategy when you just need to get your butt in the gym, or just go for a walk for maybe the 45 minutes or 1 hour a day? So why you are thinking, planning, making your life complex by going through the G diet chart or the dietitian chart what they are giving you to eat and what not to eat? So there is just example. This reminds me of a story by the billionaire Charles Munger, a big investor. He said that during the Cold War and race to the moon, the US spent a fortune and lots of time to develop a pen that would work in zero gravity. You must have seen this example in Three Idiots. The character of the Three Idiots, Amir Khan, says, "Why use the pen if you can use the pencil?" The Soviets simply used a pencil and used the most efficient path, but no more efficient than necessary. Always stay vigilant. That's the most important thing. You need to be very vigilant and prepare for the inevitable, which is always evitable. Sniff and Scuddy stayed mentally prepared for the inevitable task of finding more cheese. Ham and Haw got complacent and rooted in their old routines when they are successful already. It's a classic story of the tortoise and the hare. In my last video also I have discussed that story. If you have gone through with the Kaizen, the hare thought he was so far ahead of his competition that he slacked off and lost the marathon. Similarly, Warren Buffett, again the investor, says complacency is one of the top killers of large, successful business. Achievement is one thing, and to remain there requires a lot of innovation and a lot of hard work with a vigilant eye. We have seen the example, not many of example. We have seen the example of Kodak, the biggest example. When the mobile phone came into the picture, once a big company, Kodak, is nowhere now. So now, one point is also missing. I would like to mention it. That prepare for unknown negative events of your future, which is very much certain. Ham and Haw counted too much on the lifetime supply of cheese to last them, and they got lazy. Don't count on things to be too constant. You never know when life might hand you unfortunate news. There's politics, war, and illness out there. We are fortunate or unfortunate, depends upon the thinking. I find myself fortunate because I've seen this COVID in this stage of my life where I can learn from it and probably I can use this experience in my future. The positive thought says like this. See, what an uncertainty we have seen. What an uncertainty people are experiencing today. People are losing the job, they are losing the income. There are a lot of uncertainty in front of them. But this uncertainty, this unfortunate event, making us more stronger. Emotionally, we are becoming stronger day by day. Mentally, we are becoming stronger day by day. Now we become more vigilant with opportunity. We have started finding the new avenues. We have started learning from it. And this is a good experience, I would say. While this applies to your personal life, it also clearly applies to business. If you look at the business history of almost any industry, you realize how things can change for the worse, even if you seem to be so successful and happy. So these are the learning, I would say, from this book. And you can apply in your life. You can learn from it. And you must learn from it. The tagline of the book would be, the change is constant, accept the change, appreciate the change, love the change, and be the part of change. Once Mahatma Gandhi had also said, if you want to change the world, change yourself first and be the change. तो तैयारी कर लो भैया, चेंज के साथ चलो, चेंज होते रहो अच्छे के लिए, and always remain happy, always remain motivated, always remain humble and honest with lots of love. Take care of yourself. Catch you again. Bye-bye. See you soon. Subscribe my channel, like my channel, share my channel. We'll get back to you.